I don't really understand what the person means
Hmm.
by if you are listening to me, let me know what you mean by if the basic things are not in place. I don't really know what that means. But I but we
That's
can't
okay.
wait
Okay.
until things are perfect before we do the right thing. That's my problem with the elite.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's not perfect right now, but are we going to wait for another 10 years before we start giving money to the poor? That's my issue. This is something people do all over the world. So we didn't do it right. The last president was giving money out too close to the election. Good. Let's focus on that issue. Don't wait until election time. Let's give out what people deserve. The second point is let's have a more transparent way of determining beneficiaries. I think what we don't want APC
Hmm.
government to give money only to APC members, and we don't want PDP government to give
Exactly.
money only to PDP members. That's the issue. So how can we improve the
Okay.
transparency in determining recipients? Those are the issues we should focus on. You know, it's not about totally overhauling the system again and condemning it. No, to me, let's focus on the issues. Just like everywhere in the world, when you begin something,
Okay.
Nigeria has not been used to giving money to the poor. We've never had any social intervention
Yeah.
program. So, I think Goodluck Jonathan had something, and then maybe APC has done bigger than anybody has done. It's resulted into stealing, but I think we should focus on solving the problems and making sure people benefit from it, in a transparent way. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about the Edo State elections now because of our time really is really gone. INEC has given political parties a deadline for conduct. Political parties that we have in Nigeria are having issues conducting their primary.
So,
The issue now with the ruling party APC, the national chairman has been suspended, and then we have a former Oyo State governor coming, being approved by the NWC, that's the National Working Committee, as the acting national chairman, and we have the deputy national secretary also coming up to say, no, I.
okay. So I'm just gonna start, answering your question. I think I lost you. For me, though, I think I clearly believe that um, the I don't think that the the deputy national secretary is going to be the one to work as the chairman. I think ultimately to be run by Ajimobi and his group because they are the majority. I don't understand how you have a team of maybe about 16 people, and maybe 12 of them support a candidate for the chairman's position, and then you have two other people. You have two other people that are against the 12. And can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I was saying that for me though, the Chief Jaidon, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I think he's a joker. I think I don't understand how.
Okay.
I don't understand how. I think they have about 16 people or thereabout in the team. In the NWC, you have about 12 people supporting a candidate, Ajimobi, and then you have two
Mm-hmm.
or three people, perhaps one right now, because the other I think national vice chairman of northern region, I think he has backed out. So you probably have one or two people right now supporting Jaidon. I don't really think that's going to hold any water anywhere. Uh, it's easy to manipulate the court system in Nigeria, so that's what he's doing.
Exactly.
But I want to
Mm.
focus on Ajimobi team. I think that eventually the APC will run their primaries. Ize-Iyamu will win.
Before the deadline.
Certainly, I think that's going to happen. Ize-Iyamu will win. It's going to be Ize-Iyamu versus Obaseki. Obaseki is
Oh,
going to, yeah, that's what's going to
okay.
happen. Yeah.
So you think Obaseki will go to the opposition party?
Yeah, he will get the ticket. They don't have a choice. Obaseki
Okay,
will.
what if the candidates at the opposition party refuse to come down for him?
Remember that it's the National Working Committee of PDP that is going to present that is going to present a candidate to INEC. So whether it's going to be consensus or direct or indirect, it's going to be the NWC, and the NWC right now is working with Baseki. He's made the key governors. I believe he's going to meet Atiku. He's going to meet all the big wigs in the NWC. As long as the NWC support him, there's nothing the other candidates can do. He should reach out to them, but they might just say it's going to be consensus. If you say consensus, what does consensus mean? It just means selection. So if they see that he's not going to win a primary election, they're just going to make it consensus just to make him win. Clearly,
Okay, and you think
go ahead.
okay, and you think the ruling party wouldn't come with the same reason why he was disqualified from contesting from participating in the primaries
No,
to fight against him again?
they will take the risk. I'm certain that they will take the risk. They will, because
Okay.
from what I gathered, he's done fairly well uh, in some areas. So
Okay.
they will bank on the fact that he will get some votes because of that, and he would have the state machinery. He will come with funds, a lot of money. So that's a candidate everybody wants to field. It's still going to be tough, but he comes with the governorship powers, with money, or with the fact that he's also quite popular in some quarters. So
So
they,
people.
they will take the risk. I'm 100% sure of that.
Okay. Well, the PDP has shifted dates for its primary elections, and there are speculations that it is to take in Obaseki. So, I think I'll go with your school of thought. To conclude the show now, what do you think Viz has to say about political ideologies, governance in Nigeria? So, as a politician, you can easily switch from one party that doesn't favor you in days to another one.
So, I'm not surprised. You know, we have two people who contested against each other last 4 years, about less than 4 years ago. Um, there is no significant difference in Nigeria between PDP and APC. That's the truth. They're two similar parties, and people are going to keep jumping from ship to the other. It's not going to be like that forever, and that's why I keep telling people that ultimately the solution is to have a thought first, which might take longer time to build. But before we have a thought first, a viable thought first, we need to work with the two bad parties we have right now. Ize-Iyamu is. I was talking to a Benin person yesterday. Actually, Ize-Iyamu an is is an Igbinido guy. It's amazing that you see the Edo people are so connected. They're kind of different. I've seen people that are related to those two people, to the two contestants, and you still see Igbinido hand in all these conversations. You'll be surprised. So these guys are the same for me. Uh, yeah, and that's why I'm saying good people have to find their way to any of those two parties, uh, so that they can sometimes get opportunities to contest and fight some of these people. But ultimately, no party can claim superiority in terms of anti-corruption. Everybody is the same right now, and I'm not surprised.
Okay.
But I was going to
Mm,
talk about before when I lost you. We're talking about Ngozi, so let me talk about that. The NOI.
okay.
So my view about this issue about Nigeria fielding Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala again.
Ghazi
eh,
for
You know,
the World Trade Organization.
uh, so personally, I think it's either, and I don't know if you know that right now the AU Council has come out to say Nigeria is doing something illegal. It's against what their agreement. For me, from the beginning when this came up, I've been telling people it's
Okay.
either Nigeria has come up with his usual fire brigade irresponsible approach, or
Approach.
Ngozi is just unnecessarily ambitious, and she's the one that put
Really?
and or she's the one that's putting pressure,
Okay.
or she's the one that's putting pressure on the government to say, "Field me, field me, field me, field me. I'll get this for you guys." The
Mm.
third option is that I've read that, I don't want to talk too much about that because that's a rumor that the West, especially the Europeans, are proposing Ngozi uh, as a Western candidate, and they
Okay.
want to back her to win the election, so that in case we lose out on Akin Adesina in AFDP, we can
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria
We
can
can have her.
we can have her as a compensation. Uh,
Mm.
for me, if that's the case, I think that's wicked. But I see it as a rumor for now. But it would be a shame if Africa will eventually present one candidate and a true African, and the Europeans will present Ngozi as a Western candidate to
Mm.
pitch against an AU candidate. That
Mm.
would be a shame if Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala allows that. I think
Allows that.
that would be a shame because to me, if you
So
come
so what are you suggesting at this time?
for me, I've looked at it. Well, I think Nigeria has wasted. Somebody is doing something abnormal. Why did we take us so long to filter? She would have been a formidable candidate, fantastic candidate. But why did it
Yeah.
take us so long, uh, you know, to bring up a candidate when the AU had some agreements in place? I do not support it. I think it's unfair to the guy, to the Nigerian representative. I
Yeah. That's
clearly,
you know Frederick Gaga.
yeah, I actually think he's not as qualified as Ngozi, but it's unfair to him. You've pushed his name forward. He's been there for more than 10 years or 15 years. You pushed his name forward, and suddenly, you wake up one day, you say you're pulling his
You
name
don't
away,
want him anymore.
and it's also late for me. You're shift. It's just like you're trying to outwit. You're trying to use a muzzle because you're Nigeria or because you're being backed by the West, you're trying to outplay the other people. And that's why I'm saying
Mm.
there seems to be some, undertone. There seems to be some
Behind it. Mm.
abnormal hand in all this. And if it's coming from Europe or the West, I think Nigeria should be
And
careful.
it's not a good one.
Because what does it even mean if you win election as a Western candidate? What does it mean? It means she's not going to represent. She's going to prioritize the West over Africa. So if
Of Africa.
I
Mm.
support the AU candidate. Hopefully, it's Ngozi's name, but whoever emerges as the AU consensus candidate, which I think that's where they're going. That's the person I support. I think and I think everybody has to come together. If Africa wants to win this election, then ultimately they have to come together. That is why Akandeshino won election. That's why he was going to be re-elected unopposed before the recent issues because he
The
got the
issue.
AU together. Everybody supported him. So we have to apply the same strategy for this. AU has to bring the countries together and nominate a candidate. And I don't think we should. I think we should nominate an AU candidate and not a European candidate in
Candidate.
the Nigerian
Okay.
election.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Mr. Debo Onifade. It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Okay, bye. Don't forget to catch us up on Facebook, Liberating Nigeria, and on YouTube. Yes, you can also watch this video on YouTube, Liberating Nigeria, and do belong to the political forum where your voice can be heard at www.liberatingnigeria.com. We'll catch up again next week, Friday. Bye for now.
Thank you.